Hello, everyone. This is Steve O'Reilly and Gail Saunders with Skinnypost.com, and we are bringing you Wildcard Weekend. We're going to talk about the upcoming games on Saturday and Sunday as the AFC and NFC both kick off heading into the postseason. First game on tap, we have the Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints. We're traveling out west to face the 12th man in the Seattle Seahawks. Gail, do the Seahawks even have the ability to stay in this game with the Saints, or is this going to be a blowout? And the Saints just run right through them. What do you think?
Well, this is like a David and Goliath scenario. Saints are going into Seattle, and they have to face the 12th man. And I think anytime you get in the playoffs and you need energy, you feed off your home crowd. I think they have a chance with that type of atmosphere and, being the underdog. The Saints are heavily favored in this one. But I think there's just too much offense for the Saints. They're very dynamic. A lot of players can step up and make plays at any given time. I think it's Drew Brees is going to light them up in every which way he can. I think in their seasoned team, Seahawks, they're very they don't have too much to scare you. Their defense isn't scaring anybody as well, and it's got to be the Saints.
Yeah, I agree. The Saints are going to win. I just like Drew Brees. He knows how to win these ball games. He knows what not to do, not to turn it over. The Seahawks still kind of up in the air over what quarterback is best for them right now. And, I'd love to see Seattle win. They're, a nice story. I would like to see them win just for everybody that says that they shouldn't be there. Their record's terrible. Just because they won the West doesn't mean they should be there. There's 10-6 teams that are at home, and teams that are 7-9 getting in. But hey, you win your division, you get in. It'd be nice to see if they got to win. Kind of throw everybody for a loop and say, hey, look, see, we can compete. But they're not gonna. Drew Brees is gonna tear them apart, like you say. I'd like to see the Saints be a little bit more balanced, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But this is just a speed bump on the road. Saints are going deep in the playoffs, not just a one and done. Let's go into the later game. We're going to talk a little bit about the NFC side now. The AFC side. Who do you like in the Saturday night matchup?
Well, we have the Colts and Jets. Beginning of the season, I love what the Jets were doing. I love the whole, the movement that was. Rex Ryan was building up in New York. I just think he lost, the train went off the track a little bit. I'm not going to say anything about the feet. I'm not going to,
You don't want to put your foot in your mouth.
I don't.
You're not trying to step on anyone's toes.
Not at all. With Brett Favre and the massage therapist, all that other stuff, and, just lots of stuff going on, and it's distracting. And I think, they're all professionals. They're going to come out and play. But I think when you're going to get up against Peyton Manning at home, he's like a coach on the field. He's definitely going to, if they dial up the blitz, I think he's the quarterback that is awesome against blitz. He's going to read coverages like whatever. So, Colts at home.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be the defense. I like the Colts too. But I think that the defense, Freeney and Mathis and those guys on the edge, I think they just give the Jets too much trouble. The Jets have had times this year where they haven't really scored that much. Their offense has seen, defenses shut them down. There is a blueprint to do it. So, I don't know. I like the Colts at home too much. Just too much everything.
I just don't know what Jets team is going to show up. When they beat Steelers at home, I was shocked. But I don't know what Jets team is going to show up.
Yeah, not saying they can't win. I mean, Peyton Manning's looked vulnerable at times this year too. I mean, which Peyton's going to show up? The guy who threw a dozen interceptions in a 3-game stretch and a lot of them for pick sixes, or the guy who's going to sit there and meticulously pick them apart. This is going to be a close game. It's one of the more intriguing games this weekend. Let's go to Sunday now. Another game that's going to be awesome to watch. You got the Baltimore Ravens are going into Arrowhead to face Kansas City, and a team that has a lot of speed, They're dangerous. You got Jamal Charles doing things. You've got some weapons on offense and in the return game. But the Ravens are a socky in the mouth kind of team. Saw what they did to the Patriots last year in the playoffs. Pretty much the same team. Ed Reed's playing at a high level. What do you think's going to happen with this one?
I think anytime you got to go to Arrowhead to play, you have to think about the home field advantage. But I think the Ravens, they're built for this. I think they've done a phenomenal job as of late. They beat the Saints, a tough Saints team. However, they're not on the road. But with the Chiefs, heavily rely on the run. The Baltimore secondary, can they handle Bo? I definitely think they can. If they neutralize the run game, shut down Bo, what else do you have in the Kansas City offense? I really think the Ravens are going to step up, make some big plays on offense. Look for Anquan Bolden to make some big catches, and Ray Rice is going to get his. I think so.
It's a tough matchup. I think, the key for Baltimore is just going to be sustain that first wave of emotion. Kansas City's going to come out and play. Something's going to happen. Guy's going to get hit so hard he fumbles on a kickoff return or something something weird like that. They may get down 7-10 points early, but you just got to sustain it. It's going to come. The place is going to be rocking. Nobody saw Kansas City coming from nowhere really to win the AFC West, and they got a chance to move on in the playoffs. It'd be huge for Haley and the organization. Baltimore's been there, done that. They're thinking it's time to win a Super Bowl. So, wild card game. I'm not saying they're going to overlook it, but Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and company, they're just going to go in there, handle their business, and move on.
Look for Ed Reed pick.
He's on fire lately, I'll tell you that. All right, let's roll into the night game. The probably the best game. They're all good, really. They are. This is a great football weekend, but it culminates with a little Eagles versus Packers. Two great passing offenses. Aaron Rodgers playing at a high level after sitting some time out with the concussion. We all know what Michael Vick has been up to, which is just lighting it up. How do you see this one shaking down? What goes on up in Philly?
Well, I think the Packers are going to try and make Vic do a lot of things that he doesn't want to do. Handling the blitz the last couple of weeks, he's had a couple issues, and that's not been all his problem. It's been a lot of the line and a lot of blitz pickup from the running backs that missed a couple blocks here and there. But look for Andy Reid to go, bring the run game with LaShawn McCoy and work that screen game a little bit more so than he has in the last couple weeks. Packers are a speedy defense, and they're going to get after Vic. I think Andy Reid has a great success on the first round of the playoffs normally. But I got to go with the Eagles, man.
I agree. I think the Eagles at home are going to be tough. Vic is so explosive. We know he can get it done. We saw what he did against the Giants. The Packers, I don't know how well they match up. I know Clay Matthews kind of does things off the edge, and he kind of comes from different directions in their 3-4, but it's 4-3 defenses really that have bothered the Eagles more, rather than cover 2 defenses that are athletic, keep those receivers underneath. And in a 4-3, kind of limits some of Mike Vick's running lanes. But I think in that 3-4, sometimes things can open up, and I see him finding some seams. Just got to keep him upright. You don't want him taking too many shots. But it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a great game. It'll go either way, but I think the Eagles win a close one, 28-24.
I'm more concerned about Aaron Rodgers than I am of the Packers defense. I think Aaron Rodgers is heating up at the right moment. Eagles safeties, there's a lot of rookies playing all over the defense. So it'll be tough, but
he's got the weapons. If the Packers had a running game, I'd like them probably to win this one because I think they can do some things on defense, and if they can just sustain drives, late in the game. That's the thing against the Eagles, especially Vic. If you can't sustain a drive to milk the clock and win that game, you give him a chance. He's going to beat you eventually. So if you go out there in the fourth quarter and you're up by 10 and you're passing the ball because you can't run it, and you go 3 and out, The next thing you know, Vic's got the ball again. You know, it's like the Giants. You know, I mean, times you just got to pound the ball and pound it and milk clock. And I don't think the Packers have that element. And in the game against the Eagles, that could bite you. Anyway, a lot of great games on tap. We're going to check in with you guys following all the games and heading into the second round, the divisional round of the playoffs. Some of the home teams that are sitting there watching this weekend, just like us, are getting ready to take on the winner of this weekend's games. We're going to bring you all the coverage, talk about all the good action in this postseason. I'm Steve O'Reilly. That's Gail Saunders. This is Skinnypost.com. We're giving you the skinny 24/7.